Hi everyone, it's Vera, and this is somewhat of a continuation from the one I made yesterday, but I'm using the better camera. Getting serious here. This year is the year I started my YouTube channel back in the summer, and I'm so happy to be able to share, to give my offering here and be with you all here. I'm going to do, it's probably my last reading of the year, and then I'll come back with some for January for everybody. But this is a solstice reading for the collective, and I'm going to especially be focusing on Chiron and Black Moon Lilith, and sort of using those to hold this balance of the archetypes of the divine masculine and the divine feminine, but to sort of hold them in a softer, newer, deeper, I don't know, some slightly shifted way. So I'm going to begin. Let me make sure that I'm really rolling. Yes, I'm still learning the technicalities of YouTube. Okay, so this is for just over the weekend. Chiron went direct and Black Moon Lilith went retrograde. Mercury also went direct, and we also had a new moon in Sagittarius, as I'm sure you're aware. Okay. Two flipped out. The High Priestess and the Eight of Cups. So you have within you, I wanted to actually start today by saying that you are so worthy. We are all so worthy, and to be here in our fullness, the full expression of ourself, of our soul's true shape, and the elegance and the inelegance and the stateliness and the plainness and all, the goofy and the grand and all the gracious, all parts of us are fully worthy and welcome to inhabit so deeply these bodies that are the prayers and works, of our souls and of our ancestors. And as we flow in love throughout this Milky Way and these adventures, and we're here together, and we've been through a lot, and it can be painful to feel, when you're flooded with the realization or with the fullness of your soul's true shape, and to feel your way into these places where, for whatever reasons, where you were born, what you've been through, what was expected of you, what was narrowed, what was overextended, all these things, in that coming into alignment, it can feel painful. I liked what one person, Aluna Ash, said about that the purging and the integration are the same thing. Coming into that revelation of your deepest, truest self, and being seated in that, like in every cell of your being, and in every, glint of your understanding and your and fiber of that flow of your pulse and your love. It can feel awkward and uncomfortable and even painful to come to that. But as we all come to that, we are so much more able to bear reverent witness to ourselves, and then also extend that to others. Okay. In the proper measure, not giving, all to anybody you meet, but that discernment, trusting in our own discernment, which is so much the High Priestess. And it's funny to get the High Priestess, or it's lovely to get the High Priestess here for Chiron, because I would think of the High Priestess as sort of a Black Moon Lilith card. There's a walking away from old ways of being contained, of having our understanding, our perceptions, our experiences, our personalities, the flow of our divine of our divinity and our self as love moving in its own, in one gorgeous, idiosyncratic, one-of-a-kind expression through, we leave behind any containers that no longer are just no longer relevant, I mean, these are such majestic times. These are such deep, practical, personal times. I mean, as earthlings. Okay. So these are the first two for Chiron direct. Then Chiron also, yesterday was square the galactic center. And today is trine trine. I might have to check on my phone. I have too many words in my head. I just got to check my notes. Okay, this is for Chiron squaring the galactic center yesterday as turned direct. Oh, so this 5 of Cups. Okay, really look at this bridge. Okay, and there's a moment, or even more than a moment. There might be a month, there might be a year, there might be a decade, or it might flash by. Time is, of course, more complicated than we've been led to believe with our calendars and our to-do lists. Okay, I'm trying to speak up because somebody said I need to speak more loudly on my videos. So, yes, so this is that moment. So the square with the galactic center. In moving into this collapse of timelines and of stories that have been reinscriptions of trauma and limitation. And that's not all they've been, but we don't deny. There's no denial that these things have happened. There's no, as they say, spiritual bypassing. We sit with this pain. We sit with this sorrow. We sit with this truth and reconciliation. We respect each other and ourselves for the traumas and the difficulties that we have survived. Okay? But then we are in this moment. And then there's this potential of turning to this new, to this bridge, to these 2 cups. Okay? But it's almost like a moment of prayer and reverence. I keep saying self-reverence is faith. And it is. Treat yourself as an important ceremony. Even in the most basic of daily tasks. Give yourself the deep respect, that would honor a person dying. Give yourself the deep care and respect, that would honor a person just born. The Ace of Wands, that's the first one for Black Moon Lilith going retrograde. So we go back to find our magic, things that have been hidden, places where the invisible has been stored, but yet has always been with us, has always been with us, has always been with us. And the magic that is there as we come to it now to renew our ways of inhabiting this earth and inhabiting our body, inhabiting our surroundings, inhabiting our communities, and creating these things as we steward them. I'll take one more for Black Moon Lilith right now. The 3 of Swords and the Ace of Swords. So again, it's a It's a resting for a moment in this sorrow and heartbreak, and an acknowledgement of it. And perhaps that moment never goes away, but exists alongside all the other moments, right? But this clarity we have as we go on to remake the world. I'm going to shuffle these again and get another card. Page of Swords. Page of Swords. I love these decks and I'm grateful to the artists. Okay, Three of Pentacles, and I've been reading this Three of Pentacles as a letting go of old habits of worry, especially when it comes to material reality, you know, the economies that we've lived within that have been so difficult and so unfair, so imbalanced, and have not, you know, acknowledged the true value of so much of our labor. Anyway, okay, so, not anyway, but anyway. Letting go of your habitual forms of worry, letting that go as we are in this field of creation and we are coming into full self-possession, and what that will bring to the practicalities of our economies as we move into a new measure. And I'm going to check again to make sure that I'm rolling. Sorry, I don't mean to bother you guys with that, but okay. And then Black Moon Lilith will let me see. I'm going to check my notes. Pardon me for just one moment. Okay, so I wanted